Hello. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited that you've tuned in today onto Woman Without Limits. This is Lady Bishop Kathy Kiuna, and what a delight that you're here today. We've been bringing amazing stories. Oh my, I don't know if you've watched for the last few months. You have a lot to catch up. If you're finding us here for the first time, you have a lot to catch up. Remember, you share, comment, subscribe, okay? And I want you to like as well. Then invite all your friends to come and watch. These stories that we bring you is to let you know that your story can change too. I want to let you know that nobody can stand in your way. Even the devil, he can't stand in your way if you get up and work with God. Because he that began a good work in you, the Bible tells us, he's faithful to complete it. So don't allow the devil to lie to you, tell you how bad it is, you're coming from too far, you can never go anywhere. Today, you will hear a story of where these wonderful people are coming from, and you will say, hey, if God can do it, he can do it with me as well. And today I am so excited that I have a couple that I love, that we've worked with for so many years. And I have seen God literally do a transformational work that is absolutely commendable. Pastor Maurice and Pastor Pauline Gacheru, would you welcome them, please? Karibu sana.
Asante. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for having us. We are very, very honored and privileged to be here today.
Amen.
Yes.
It's so wonderful to have you. Pastor Pauline.
Yeah, we are glad.
Yeah.
And we are excited.
Amen. And you look so cute. Ay,
Thank
Ati,
you,
who
Mom.
did your makeup?
My daughter.
Ay, Sharon.
Yes,
Ay, she's good. Let me tell you, you should now consider her as your makeup artist.
I think so.
Yeah. She's got your face tremendously well.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with Pastor Maurice.
Yes.
And people know you as this quiet, just humble man that doesn't talk much, and amazing man of God. Yeah. I just want us to go back and just retrace the steps from birth.
Yes.
Like, who is Pastor Maurice? Like, before Pastor Maurice, who is Maurice? Who is Maurice Gacheru?
Yes.
We start from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in the city. I was born actually at Pumwani Maternity Hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I was born.
Yeah. You know why I said, oh, really?
Yes.
Because my little sister was born in Pumwani.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So at that time we were living around Kangemi.
Yeah.
My dad and mom was just starting life. I'm the second born. My older brother is 1 year older than me.
Okay.
I think the difference is 1 year, 1 month.
Right.
And then, of course, my dad was working as a banker. So we were moving around, he used to be transferred here and there.
Okay.
So we went to the Rift Valley for some time, Yeah, but we settled in Nairobi from 1978.
Oh.
Is when now we came permanently.
When you were a very little boy.
Yeah. 78. I think I was 7 years.
Yeah.
I was 6, 7 years.
Right.
And my dad then had gotten a place because as a banker he had gotten a bank loan and gotten a house somewhere around Ngara. He had bought a plot.
Yeah.
In Ngara. That's where we grew up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just here in Ngara.
Yeah, opposite, just near the post office, Shan Cinema.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up.
Okay.
So I used to go to school. When we came, my first primary school was Dr. Agri Primary School.
Where is Dr. Agri?
is Starehe, opposite, just near Starehe.
Yeah.
There's Dr. Agri, there's Starehe, then St. Bridget, then there are a couple of city council schools primary schools that are, just following one another.
Around that area?
Yeah. Then I was in class 2.
Yeah.
Then my dad transferred me to St. Teresa's Boys in Eastleigh.
While you were still in class 2?
No, class 4 then.
Class,
okay. After 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but all this time we continued studying in Ngara. I left Ngara, late, around 1998, 99.
Oh.
Yeah, so I stayed around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the people we grew up with are still there.
Really?
Yes.
Because like those are personal houses.
Yes,
Like, they are
personal,
owned.
but there is also this thing of people just, number one, Ngara was very convenient because it was near town.
So you would even walk.
You would even walk. And therefore, people just got used to the convenience, the way somebody can just get used to a life around a place.
Right.
Yeah, so I actually left when I thought this is going to affect us, the environment. It's going to affect us. Then I was married.
Yeah.
We got our first daughter.
So you're rushing this thing. You're rushing the... we are still not married.
Yes, ma'am.
We are walking the journey. How was your childhood like? How can you explain
Okay,
your
now
childhood?
people say I'm quiet, but I was more quiet then. Yeah, actually, ministry has caused me to open up, to talk.
You were an introvert?
Oh, yeah, very much.
Even then, as a kid?
Oh, yeah. Because I'll just go disappear behind somewhere and do my stuff.
So what was do my stuff? What stuff?
Depending on the stage,
Yeah.
was like I would be making toys. We made toys. Those days we didn't buy toys. We made them. So
this is so cute.
these Mabati toys, especially during the Safari Rally time, we would go take, those days Kimbo and Cowboy was teens. Oh. So we would, make toys from them.
Yeah.
We would go out there and steal fences, the wires. We would make cars, toy cars from the wires. So I was an expert in that.
You know why I'm laughing?
Yeah.
You know why I'm laughing? Because it's like you spoke to somebody I interviewed.
Yeah.
It's like you two are you are in the same WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Even the teens.
Yes.
Playing Kalongo.
Oh, yes, we did that.
Cha mama na cha baba.
Yes.
Blada.
Yes.
Rounders.
Yes.
Bano.
You
played all that?
Oh, I did all that. Bano, kuna zingine zilikuwa naitwa, they were called gulidanda. Gulidanda, there was shake. There's one touch, One touch.
Our days were very good.
Very interesting.
Because we enjoyed those things,
yes,
man. And then
yes.
you had no time for which television?
Yeah, I mean.
And gadgets were not there.
Yes.
So you are now creative.
Yes.
Can you imagine making your own cars, dolls, stuff like that? So that's what you were doing as a kid?
That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
As a kid, we did it. I mean, the guys from the estates around there.
Yeah.
We had railway quarters, we had government quarters, we had the old Ngara, that's called for Jesus.
Yeah.
So we would come together.
Many of you.
So form teams, depending if it's football.
Yeah.
We'd form teams, then breakdance came.
Please don't tell me you were in it.
Oh, Mama was in it.
Stop.
Yeah.
You were dancing.
Yes.
You?
Breakdance, Shabadu and,
Eh?
Yeah. So in primary,
yeah,
my dad would go buy shoes.
Yeah.
And because of football, shake, that's
right.
The shoes were not lasting a term.
Because too much rubbing.
Yeah, yeah. So I told him, don't bother with the leather shoes anymore. Just buy the ngomas.
Those are enough.
Yeah. Then I would go to Kariakor market.
Yeah.
And we'd buy the studs. We'd buy the studs because of breakdance now.
Yes.
The belts had studs.
Of course.
You do belts like
this.
and
God.
then the trousers would be like somebody would take their dad's trouser
Yes.
and reduce it. Yeah.
So it's baggy.
It's baggy like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you put calicit?
Not then.
Yeah.
Calicit was later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Calicit was later, but
right.
the box was there.
The box, yes. Akina Shabadu.
Oh, the box was there, and we would compete like people from Kariakor, Jivanji. There were those estates around there.
Right.
People would compete, so so it was something. But that was towards teenage now,
right,
mid-teenage.
Right.
Yeah.
Were there fights? Were there gangs? Were there naughty boys around? Or How was it like?
Oh, yes,
Were there fights?
Yes. You know, when we were young,
Yeah.
the naughtiness was just somebody steals your lunch, steals your milk, because we used to have free milk.
Yeah.
That was the naughtiness.
Right.
But some of these girls now graduated
Yeah.
and went into crime. In fact, so many of my childhood friends
Yeah.
died.
Hey.
They died. Some were lynched, some were shot, some died because of drugs. Because now they started to graduate
Into drugs.
hard drugs, bangi.
Yeah.
You know, and my brother was caught into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by by the grace of God, I somehow escaped drugs.
You did not take drugs?
No.
You didn't take?
I didn't take drugs.
But your brother was taking?
Yes.
Alcohol?
Yes.
Did you take alcohol
I
yourself?
tasted, but I don't know what it means to be drunk. I don't know. I've never been
You
drunk.
just tasted and left it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There was a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
And of course, when we were growing up,
Yeah.
when we were young, when we just moved fresh, our neighbors were Asians. So the plots were occupied by, so the Africans were purchasing plots that had belonged to Asians. Even the one that my dad bought had belonged to Asians.
Oh.
So like where we were staying, opposite was an Asian family.
Yeah.
You go like skip 2 plots and another Asian.
Oh yeah, Ngara is an Asian area.
Yeah. So those days they hadn't moved a lot. Right now there's none of them.
Right.
But when they started moving out,
Yeah.
the place was, some of those houses and plots were replaced with off licenses where they sell liquor.
Yeah.
Then we had boarding and lodging.
In the same area.
In the same area.
Right.
Yeah, so right now,
Yeah.
it's so full of them.
But brothels and stuff like that.
Yes, we had brothels.
Yeah.
And like those boarding and lodgings are actually daytime brothels.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they actually hire rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And growing up, you've started to see all this.
Yeah.
You see people
Doing
people you've
that.
respected, they are coming from
those rooms.
Places. Some of them are going in. It wasn't a very good environment towards the end.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, they were just kids,
Yeah.
Playing games. And of course, that environment influenced a lot of
Choices.
a lot of choices and a lot of the young people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them,
went into
even now, there are
that.
still some who are still there.
They got stuck.
They got stuck. And my brother, last-born brother, is still there.
Hey.
They are still there.
So your older brother, when you are now, you would watch him,
Yes.
come home drunk and all that.
Yeah.
What would that make you feel? It won't make you feel like trying what he's doing?
It's interesting because I didn't.
Yeah.
Because, of course, first, it was very secretive. Very secretive because he would, chase me away.
Oh.
When he got into that group.
Yeah.
So everybody now has the group they hang around. Okay, towards, teenage, I got into swimming. I got crazy about swimming.
Okay.
So I'd leave the house especially at St. Teresa's. Because St. Teresa's in class 4, I had a trainer from Eritrea.
Yeah.
His name, I remember, his name was Gabu.
Yeah.
And we used to go and I would just be at the shallow end, holding onto the rails, kicking. So, and then I would come out. Then he looked at me and said, this guy can make a good swimmer. So one day I was walking around, he takes me and throws me into the deep end.
Without knowing how to swim?
No, I used to swim in the shallow.
Yeah,
Then
but he throws you into the deep
he
end.
threw me into the deep end. Instead of swimming towards the closer side, I swam from the deep end all the way to
the shallow.
To the shallow. And that's where my swimming adventure started.
Wow.
So from that, I fell in love with swimming. So my friends revolved or were around swimming.
Yeah.
So I remember I would leave home at 8. Even when the schools were closed, even in July when it's cold, I would leave home at 8 in the morning. And I would come back at 5. I would swim the whole day. I would swim, swim,
The
swim.
whole day, like
The whole
it
day.
just that it's where you immersed yourself.
Yes.
While they were immersing themselves into drugs and all,
Yeah.
you immerse yourself.
So
into
there's a part of my brother's life that we were separate. Because him is going to,
do his stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
to some of these estates,
Yeah.
Ziwani and other places, and me, I'm coming in the evening.
Yeah.
And then there are guys, when I came to secondary, there are guys around now, our estate in Gara, that, you know, we became friends. I influenced them towards swimming. So we had, when my brother is going towards drugs and crime,
Yeah.
us, we are going towards swimming and just playing those games we used to play. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were you involved with girls? Did you have girlfriends? You know? And at what age?
Okay, we had crashes.
Yeah.
We had boyhood crashes. And,
Yeah.
and our crush was like, if you're doing Kalongo,
Yeah.
then it's got to be her. You know, it's going to be
Yeah,
her, but
yeah.
not serious. Number one, I was so shy. I was very, very shy and reserved. Yeah, so I
So
wasn't...
kuja kukatia?
Si ati, okay, kuna ile unanini, like, unakatia, but I was not so much into girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't so much into girls, and but I was a lot into those games.
Yeah.
And especially, as I've said, I played sports.
Oh, you
So
played,
when
you
I
loved sports.
I loved sports. I
Yeah.
played basketball, a bit of rugby,
Yeah.
football.
Ooh.
So that was my area of that's how I...
That's
yes.
where you hid yourself.
That's where I hid myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
I think
though.
that aspect of my brother
Yeah.
just, where Rudy home? You know, because I remember when we were kids, I'm trying to follow him and like, where Rudy home?
Do you think he was like protecting you, or it was just
No,
maybe God
he didn't want me to know what's happening.
that
was
they
just
are
being
into
secretive.
deeper
Yeah,
things?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because now he went into hard drugs.
He went into drugs.
Yeah.
He started taking money from here and there. You see, so now that's when I started to realize, when I saw my dad and mom beating him because this has gotten lost. Where's the money I left here?
Yeah.
That's when I started to realize, hey, there's something wrong going. What's up with my brother?
Yeah.
That's when I really started to get to, you know.
To know that
yeah.
he's into deeper things than you
And
thought.
he was so secretive
Yeah.
because, you know, those days as boys, you're just sleeping together.
Yeah.
Same bed,
Yeah.
you know. But later, of course, we got a cube where he has his own bed, I have mine.
Yeah.
But then I'd started to see he's hanging out with the wrong crowd, because it's not just him. There's a whole
Gang.
group,
A
a
whole
whole
group.
gang
Yeah.
of those we used to play with that grew up into crime and into some of those things.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, but I mean, I'm just amused at the fact that he would chase you away, because normally, you know, and especially if you're just 1 year apart, you're basically like age mates.
Yes.
So normally you would like be together, you know,
Yes,
like he would
yeah.
he would want you to do what he's doing. But I'm just seeing protection here,
Yes.
where he's telling you go because he doesn't want, you know,
Yeah.
you to get into those depths
Yes.
that they are in.
There's protection,
Yeah.
both divine
Yeah.
and him without knowing.
Yes.
Yeah, because my way of looking at it is that he would do that
Yes.
so that I don't know what's going
Yeah,
down. But
right.
he was protecting me.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So when he really started to get into it, I didn't have any interest because I'd seen what had happened to some of the friends.
Yeah.
And what's going on, because now we are discussing, look, this what's happening. Because he used to, at some point, he was even peddling.
Wow.
He was peddling, he would bring the thing into the room,
Yeah.
and he would make it, roll it, smoke it.
When you're there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And smoke it, and, you know, and together with his friends.
Yeah. Wow.
I
That's
got
amazing.
a bit influenced later.
Yeah.
Because, of course, I started smoking cigarettes and a bit of Mira.
Yeah.
I did Mira.
Hey.
Yeah, Veve. But
Yeah.
I didn't get into these others.
Inaitwa
Kuchonga.
Kuchonga.
Yeah.
Kuchonga na Big G.
Yes. Yeah. First we did with Big G,
Yeah.
then later there was Njugu.
Oh, njugu.
Yeah.
Like njugu peanuts.
Yeah.
I've never had.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just the big G one, you know.
No,
Then
no,
you choose such a big one, and
Yeah.
so you did veve
I did Veva.
and smoking.
Yes.
Not for long.
Yeah, for some time. You know what happened is that especially when I got into high school, Jamhuri High School, my dad brought one of my cousins
Yeah,
who had just finished high school, was coming to college, Kenya Polytechnic.
yeah.
And now I had two smokers in the house, in the room.
You are surrounded.
Yeah, I was surrounded.
Yeah.
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 So that's how I got influence. You know, just
To
check-
start,
yeah,
at least to
start.
try
Yes.
and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, hold it right there. Let me start now. Let me go to Pauline. Before you were Pastor Pauline, that's what I want to know now. Pauline, what's your drama? What's your story? Where were you born? And
Okay, okay, he's a town guy.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Shags Mundo.
so you're on the other side of the village.
I was on the other side of the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was born in Gatondo to a single mom. And I say I'm the product of a high school romance. Yeah.
Oh, so she was a high school lover,
Yes.
and you appeared.
And then I appeared.
Yeah.
As a good surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that?
Okay, I ended up being raised by my grandmother because my mom now had to come to the city
Yeah.
to look for work because after I was born, she was not able to complete her Form 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she got you before Form 4.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Before she was
That
done.
was a child for real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we used to finish Form 4 at 16. 16. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I think it kind of destabilized her a bit. Yeah, and messed her focus. So she moved to Nairobi to look for something because I had to eat now.
So she
had
took
a
you to
child
your
to take care
grandma
of.
at what age?
I was raised by my grandmother. I don't remember my mother really when I was growing up. Yeah, I was raised by my grandmother from the word go, I think, I believe. Because, to the farthest I can remember, I see my grandmother. Yeah, and my mom now coming to visit and everything. But
And did you know she was your mom?
yes, I did.
So when she would come to visit you,
Yes,
she would... Okay.
Yeah, the visit were regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she'd come and visit, but I was raised by my grandmother. And I went to, of course, to the school nearby. You know those schools that don't have a gate but with no fence.
Wow. In shags completely.
In Shags completely.
Yeah. Did you have shoes even when you were going to school?
I was privileged. I would stand out because, being the only child
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
Because it took her a while before my brother was born. Between me and my brother is like 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah, so I would say like I was an only child for
long.
Yeah, for 10 years.
Right.
So I was raised by my grandmother, and I don't remember going to school without shoes because she would provide that. And my grandmother really spoiled me because I was named after her.
Wow. So you are the first grandchild.
I really know. My mom is she the fifth born.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she had others, but she
yeah,
spoiled
she
you.
had. But yeah. I think she spoiled me because there was provision coming.
Yeah. From the city. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was raised by my grandmother, and I reconnected with my mom when I was in class 6.
Wow.
That's when now I moved from Gatondo to St. Teresa's Girls.
Okay.
Apparently, my husband was in St. Teresa's Boys.
Hi.
I was in St. Teresa's Girls, so we were living in Isli.
Yeah.
So we didn't know each other. You see, it's a boys' school, a girls' school.
And a girls, so they're separate.
They're separate.
Yeah.
We'd only meet on Thursday for the mass.
As the boys and girls?
Yes.
Would you ever see him?
Even if I saw him, maybe I can't remember him.
Okay. Did you ever see her?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
They were
okay.
actually
You
in
are
the
too
same
little.
school,
I was in
almost
the
the same class with my sister, younger
Actually,
sister.
we were
Okay.
in the same class
Yeah.
with the third born.
Yes, the
And,
third
the
born.
sister, okay.
and the one who follows him,
Yeah.
Actually, the fourth born.
yeah, Njoki is,
The-
Njoki
the
is the
fourth,
fourth born.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now the third born was 2 years ahead of us.
Right.
Yeah, but I never got to meet the brother
Yeah.
when I was in primary school.
Yeah.
So I knew the sisters, but I never got to meet the brother in
Like
primary
you
school.
knew the sisters.
Yes, we were in the same school with the sisters in St. Teresa's Girls.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
you'll tell us about the meeting later. So tell me,
Mm.
so were you feeling bad that your mom didn't raise you?
Oh yeah, there's always that. Let me say, there's a space in my life that I really was not able to connect with my mom, because see now the one that was present in my life was my grandmother. So coming to Nairobi, trying to reconnect with her. So I wouldn't say that we had that deep connection with my mother when I came now to Nairobi, because I came to Nairobi in class 6.
Yeah.
So class 7, class 8. Now from 1 I go to boarding school. So I've only had 3 years,
To connect at all.
Yeah, to connect at all.
And she's working.
And she's working.
Yeah.
So going to boarding school, you're just coming for midterm, and then after that you close for a few weeks, they go back to school.
Right.
So we really never got that opportunity to like gel, like mother-daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just living,
Yeah.
like you can say that's my mom, but no
yeah.
rapport.
Yeah, no.
No rapport, really.
Yeah, my grandmother was the one that was present
Really?
in my life. Yeah.
So were you taking care of your other siblings then? Because you said there was 10 years apart.
Yes.
And that's the time you were still at your grandma's.
Uh-huh.
So by the time you came back, were you now with your siblings?
No. My sibling was born when I was in class 6 then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. When I
Wow.
came to Nairobi is now when our second born, my
Yeah,
brother,
yeah.
Dennis, was born.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, that's a big, wow,
Yeah.
that's a big gap, especially class 6 and newborn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we come, and then the transition was not funny in the sense of now I'm trying to reconnect with my mom, and now my brother is born. All the affection now goes to my brother. Do I have my grandmother with me to love on me? No. So it's my mother who is taking care of my brother, this young
You
boy.
organize yourself.
Yeah, so I had to really organize myself, and it almost brought me to a place of wondering why I actually came to Nairobi,
Wow.
Yeah, because all the attention
Is on your brother.
is on my brother. You
Yeah.
can imagine also that gap of 10 years, 10 years without a baby. Now my mother gets a baby.
And
at
she's
10,
excited.
And she's excited. And at this time now she got married to
Yeah.
my brother's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, to my brother's dad. So all the attention now
He's on husband, wife, baby.
on husband, wife, baby. So I am just there, trying to
fit somewhere.
Yes, to fit
Like,
somewhere.
Hi, I'm yours. Too,
Yeah, so it was school, home,
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
much happening. Yeah, so my transition was kind of difficult because I didn't get to understand it because at where I'm coming from, I was my grandmother's, she would even bring
Everything.
for me eggs, she would tell me, well, during break time, just come near the fence. Then I'll go near the fence, then she'll come and pass me an egg,
Oh. Wow. Wow, yeah.
pass me an egg and everything.
Yeah.
So here I am, the attention is on someone else.
Yeah.
So I really kind of disconnected, kind of to survive.
Yeah. To survive.
Yes.
So were you an introvert as well?
Yeah.
You've been an
I've always
introvert?
been.
Right.
I've always been an introvert. that doesn't even make things better
It
because
doesn't help.
you don't share.
You can't query like us sanguines. Hey, you are ignoring me and I'm here.
Yeah, so I'll be there. I will see, like my mom, buying for my brother new clothes. He's a baby, of course, but with my few years, am I understanding why?
How?
No.
Yeah.
I've just come into your life. I'm here also.
Like, yeah, pay attention.
Can pay
You gave birth to
attention?
me.
Yes.
For heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So I think it wasn't very easy for me. So
Did that make you deal with rejection?
Kind of, maybe, because I would say so now that you've said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an aspect of that, and I think that aspect of trying to survive.
Yeah.
Trying to survive,
Yeah,
because I was
right.
like, hey, here I have to survive.
Otherwise, I'm finished.
If I start craving for attention which I'm not getting,
I'm
I'm just
finished.
I'm done.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to do with me.
Okay.
Yes, I was like, no, Pauline, it's
you and you.
It's you and you.
Yeah.
So
Jipange.
you just have to learn how to live with yourself. And I would say that has a plus and a minus, because the minus in it is that it becomes very hard for you to connect.
Yeah. With anybody.
With anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I can live by myself and I'm fine.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I can live by myself.
And you're fine.
And I'm fine. I'm not faking it.
Yeah.
I am good.
Because you got used to that.
Yeah, I had to get used to that to survive.
So, as a young girl, you're a teenager now. Did you riot? Did you lose it? Did you go out there to, get that love for yourself?
No, I don't think I had that, because remember, I'm in boarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come home during the holidays, and some of those times that I'll go back to my grandmother, go visit my grandmother over the holidays.
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah.
So I really never got that opportunity to go to those places that people would go to. But after some time being in that school, after some time I transferred and I came to another school in Nairobi. Yeah.
Which one?
It doesn't exist anymore.
I'm asking which one because I want these people to hear.
I promise you, the other day I passed through, I was like, my God, my former school is non-existent.
It was for Shada.
Yes, Shada girls. So I was like, God, if I was to lose my certificate, where would I go?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
It doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore.
But all the rioters were in Shada.
All the rioters.
Yeah.
I think like what my husband is saying, it's just God's preservation, because it was called school for the rejects. If you're rejected in Pangani girls, you are rejected in Gara girls, you are rejected in these other schools.
Kalsa will accept you.
Then you come to Shada.
Shada.
And
Shada
there
will
are many
accept you.
schools for the rejects around that.
Yes, Kalsa also.
Kalsa, Shada, St. Edward, City High.
It was called School for the Rejects.
It was a school for the rejects.
Jesus. So
actually,
they were rioting because I know.
They were rioters because they're coming here because they've been rejected.
So we all knew it. Shada, we all knew it there. Those girls are serious. They did all
and you see now, the reason I say how I got myself into Shada, one day I just woke up in the boarding school. I was like, I'm tired. I don't like this space. I walked out.
You with your quiet self.
Let me tell you, it made history because no one else had dared.
You just
To do
walked
something.
out.
I promise you, I went through the teachers' quarters, went to the nearby shopping center, got myself into a matatu, and was done.
And that was
with
the last time they saw you.
I was done with the Gacheru girls. No, see, now I'm here now.
Yeah.
I can't go to any other school. So why did you leave your school? What do I say? I can't say I just walked out.
Yeah.
I got bored.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you went to the School of the Rejects?
Yeah. So my
And
mother
you
told me.
finished? Yeah.
My mother told me, you know what?
Yeah.
I've tried. I'm not getting a school for you. So you go and get yourself a school.
Jesus. So you're the one who got yourself that
I
one?
got myself the school. So she told me, you know what? You go get yourself a school. When you get yourself a school, I'll pay.
And you found Kalsa. You found
I found
Chada.
Shada. You know, Shada, you're
They
welcome.
were calling you.
No, they didn't ask for many details.
Oh my God, that's the best.
Yes, so
Wow.
yeah, I was.
So you went and told her you got the school,
I got
and
the
she
school
said, "Okay, I'll
and
pay."
I'll pay. Yeah, and she paid.
Wow. So,
I don't even remember her coming to school. I think she gave me the school fees to go pay. Yeah.
So she never came.
I don't remember.
never came.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Were you wondering about your dad?
Yes, I was, and I got to meet him.
You did?
Yes.
After how long?
When I was in, I was in Shada, yeah? Yeah, I was in Shada. Yes, I got to meet him. Yes.
While in Shada?
Yes. Yeah, he was a very wealthy man.
So, what?
Yes.
How did you meet him?
I think my mom got stuck up on school fees.
And told him I was not in this alone.
So she sends me to this guy. And I'm wondering, okay, so where am I going to this person?
Yeah.
But she didn't tell me he's my dad. She didn't. Actually, I got to know he was my dad from her friend.
Like you went to somebody who you never knew. She never told you. What?
No, she didn't tell me. She didn't tell me he's my dad. He was my dad who's passed on. Yeah, so it's later that her friend is one who told me, but that guy is your dad.
You knew after the fact?
Yes.
And this man didn't even tell you?
No, he didn't. I think he had a family to protect. Yeah, he had a family. So I know I have some siblings out there.
Somewhere out there.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I met him. He was up there.
Yeah.
Let me say that.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was financially stable.
Yes, he was in the
He
government.
was well off.
He was in the government.
Really?
Yes.
Did you look anything like him?
Yes. Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
After my husband got to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I met him.
Yeah. So I kinda
Resemble?
Yeah. Kinda.
Okay. Pastor Maurice, we come back to you.
Yeah.
Now you have finished school. Where do you go after that? You were in Jamhuri.
I was in Jamhuri.
Yeah.
Now, my dad had been away
Yeah.
for some years because as a banker,
Yeah.
during that regime, there was a lot of political interferences with the banks. Their banks, some of them fell, other guys ran away. So my dad's summer was caught into that as a banker. And he was implicated he was a bank manager. Actually, he was a bank manager at Sarit Center.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would walk from Jamhuri
Yeah.
to Sarit Center,
Yeah.
check him out, and then we'd drive home with him. So now there's this thing that has exploded all of a sudden. I'm in Form 1, and then I'm hearing stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad is locked in for like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, you know? So I'm like going to visit him.
So you're just hearing, you have no idea what's going
Yeah,
on.
sometimes we'll go to committee to see him.
Yeah.
And it went on and on and on. Then my dad had been a businessman, you know, after the whatever started,
Yeah.
he couldn't continue working.
Okay.
So he went into transport. He had some trucks
Yeah.
that he used to do transport. And then he had a shop at Isley. And then he would do farming.
Yeah.
He would do farming.
And she lived in Islay.
She lived in Isley, but I don't know.
You have no
I
idea.
have
You
no
were
idea.
just, yeah.
Yeah. So he comes in,
Yeah.
he was released during the October 10th something.
Yeah.
There's a holiday,
Okay.
presidential clemency something.
Yeah.
The former President Moi used to, you know, announce guys who had, you know. So he was released. So me, I'm like, I played a lot because of the break dance and whatever.
Yeah.
Form 1, Form 2. Then Form 2 actually is when one of my head teachers wrote to my, in my report form that my adolescence is giving me a hectic time. Because during break, lunchtime, we are break dancing, we are competing, and then I've developed this crazy hairstyle.
Yes.
Yeah, the box, your box, mom would put an iron box on top, press it like this, the iron box. So it had
A shape.
defined shape, a defined corners,
Yes.
also flat. And so I played. I was a bit rowdy.
So he said your adolescence is giving you trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of the playing and jokes and
Yeah.
But Form 3 got serious. So I would go read even remember I'm a swimmer.
Yeah.
So I'll go in the morning, study, afternoon swim. So that became my life.
Yeah.
And so this particular day, I just walk home and I enter the house and I'm seeing a guy seated. He's my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Wow.
You're
After
here.
so long.
Yeah, so we shake hands, we
Yeah.
hug.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good to see you and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So my dad goes to look at what's up with his businesses.
Yeah.
They are all stalled. Because he left guys to manage.
Nobody, yeah.
He left people to manage.
Yeah.
So
And they messed it up.
they messed.
Yeah.
The trucks were grounded, were on stones.
Like nothing was working.
Yes. I
And
mean,
you guys are kids, so you have no idea even where to start.
okay, we used to know that he has trucks
Yeah.
and there are people managing, but my mom is now. My mom was actually a civil servant, so she's struggling to sustain 5 kids
Yeah.
in school
Yeah.
because she's not getting help from the businesses, and her income is civil servants' income, and it's not like she was senior. She wasn't senior in the civil service.
Right.
Yes. So, we went through a tough period during that time because sometimes I'll go tell her, Mom, I need shoes. You just tell me, go pick your dad's shoes. So by the time my dad comes up, I've finished his stock of shoes. Yeah, it became
With your
tough
break
because,
dance and all those things.
yeah, because even some of his suits, I would go take the trouser, reduce it, and I would reduce it myself because my mom had a sewing machine. So I go reduce it myself into the shape I wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
You would stitch it yourself? You would sew?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So she had a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this day I come home and I'm finding my dad is around.
Yeah.
So after that, my dad is going around to try and look at how his interests are.
Things. Yeah.
He finds that things have stopped. So I was studying those days for the exam. So continue to study. By this time, I'm born again. Got born again in January 15th in Jamhuri.
Yeah.
I'm born again.
When you were in high school?
Yes, high school. We used to have CU and stuff.
Right.
Then my dad comes, and all of a sudden, we are not going to church anymore. We used to go to Mrima's, Shan Cinema.
Yeah.
We are all going there. He's taking us back to Catholic. So we are at St. Paul's University Chapel, Holy Family Basilica. So he's like, this is the church that was left. This is the church of the apostles and blah, blah, blah. So, and of course, 3 years, you want to please him and you want to show him, you don't want to stress him like he's back and, so you're flowing.
Yeah.
So we get packed into the car and off, The car was still working because the car was left, and it was still within the plot.
Yeah.
So like that. Then after I cleared, I remember the day I put my last full stop. He sent me to Isli.
To
the shop
Yeah.
in Isli.
Right.
And that I think was a big blunder. Okay, it was good because it taught me some management, whatever,
Right.
running business stuff.
Right.
Because I was able to pick up the business again.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, it started to come up.
Okay.
But by the time we hit December, I knew
Yeah.
that I'd qualified
Yeah.
for campus.
Right.
Yeah, so I know that I'm just going to be here for a short time.
Yeah.
So I stayed in that shop like up to September of 90. That is 89, September of 90, because that's when I reported. Yeah, or slightly earlier than that.
Yeah.
That's when I reported to the university. The problem was that I've just remember for the last like 1 or 2 months, I'm not going to church. I'm going to Catholic.
And you're going to this one, that one?
Yes.
You're changing them?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then I've gone back to the receiving of the Eucharist, and
Yeah. Wow.
I've been somehow convinced. I
Yeah.
just gotten saved, like in January, it comes in October. Somehow I think I got convinced, like actually this is the church
It's
that
fine.
was left.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes,
so
Saint Paul.
I couldn't tell the difference
Yeah.
between this church and that church.
Yeah.
Because I know they didn't sing the same.
Yeah.
And blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, I'm going there, I'm selling cigarettes and I'm blah, blah, blah,
Yeah. At the shop now?
I'm at the shop, I'm alone.
Yeah.
There's a guy, like he's a distant relative who was there.
Yeah.
Now he sees somebody to help him. So when he saw like I'm stabilizing, I'm managing, he introduced me to the wholesalers, he introduced me to the suppliers, he introduced me to
Yeah.
Then after I started to get it together, he would just sneak and leave the whole day, so I'll just be there by
Alone.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I stayed there up to September when I left for the university.
Okay.
Yes. And that's where I saw her for the first time.
So you saw her at the shop?
Yeah, she came to buy mosquito coil. I thank God for mosquitoes.
All things work out together for good. It was not a blunder. You had to go to his sleep.
Because you thought it was a blunder, but kumbe God was taking you there for a wife.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
So tell us before now we come into that meeting, because I want to hear about the meeting. So Shada, you have now finished it.
Yeah.
Then after that?
Now after Shada, I joined a college. I think that's when they were introduced the computers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I joined a college, and now remember my brother is born now.
Yeah.
And then by this time, my mom, we have our third born now.
Yeah.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
third born,
right.
my third born, our third born brother. So most after high school, I had to take care of him. Actually, most people thought he was my son. Our third born.
Yeah.
Many people thought he was
Your child.
my child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say most of the time
Yeah.
after my fourth form was like taking care of my
your
my brother,
sibling.
because my mom now was out there working. Yeah. There was not much now I could do with my life, because now that was a responsibility, because
Yeah.
he was young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was at home most of the time with my
Right.
brother.
Eh.
Yeah.
So now, this day that you're going to buy the mosquito coil, tell us the event of that day.
Then you remember he said he's just come from high school.
Yeah.
Okay, waiting to go to the uni. So means I'm also in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was 2 years ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ahead.
Yeah.
So I go to this shop, and thank God for mosquitoes. I look
Yes.
at this, I'm like, okay, it doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, he doesn't look bad at all.
Yes.
So I made it a habit to
Of
go there,
mosquito
go in there every
coil.
evening
Actually, I
to buy the mosquito coil.
Mom actually dropped a line. I dropped a line. Something to do with these mosquitoes. How can they mess such a beautiful face? And that kept her coming.
Yeah, this is how I have in Matutangoma.
Hold on. You dropped a line that day. Even you are smooth. You
How you working?
And said, how can mosquitoes be eating this beautiful face?
Yeah. So anyway, we developed a friendship from there.
Yeah, I became a regular customer
Of mosquito coil.
of mosquito
But after
coil.
some, I think a week or so, she went back to Gatondo. Because it was during the December.
Holiday.
Yeah, it was during the December. So she came from high school,
Yeah.
stayed in his sleep for a couple of, I think a week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the time. I think because we got to talk,
Yeah.
you know, like, hey, hi, you know, I've just finished school and you know, I'm from school and blah, blah.
Right.
She had just come like 2 days, you know, then she came for the mosquito, then she stayed like for a week or so.
Yeah.
And then now Christmas, you know, because it's December, November, December holidays. Then Christmas hits. Then, you know, she has to go to Gatondo, to the grandmother's.
Right.
Then she comes back just before she goes back to boarding school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So when do you now develop that rapport? When do you develop feelings?
Actually, feelings come later because now this is a girl.
Yeah.
She's coming, you know, she's beautiful. And you know, I was 18.
Yeah.
Going to 19.
So she was 16 or 17.
Yeah. She was, I think 17.
Yeah.
So, you know, just cordial talk,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
She goes to her grandmother's, comes, and I'm like, I've sensed like, hey, this girl is not coming. You know, where is she? You know, I'm asking, when she went, she became a customer somewhere else.
Yes.
Or did I say something wrong? You know, those, you know.
Amepata mosquito coil somewhere else.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, then all of a sudden somewhere towards New Year, beginning of January, she resurfaces. And like, wow, she's here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think what happened, those days there was a lot of pen pal.
Writing
Writing.
letters.
Oh yeah. Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah.
So when she's going to school, she leaves me with her, you know,
The school address.
school address.
Yeah.
Then we have the home address.
Yeah.
So it became more of writing. I think most of the lines were in ink.
Yeah.
Most of the lines were in ink. You remember how we used to start those, you know, I'm writing this piece of massive. You say, I'm writing this piece of massive, sijui what. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
pour my feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you now started writing to each
Yeah,
other.
we wrote a lot.
Yeah.
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 So tell me, when now do you get into university before now you decide to become a thing?
No, we've already become a thing.
Oh, now you've already
In terms
become
of,
a thing.
yeah, we become a thing.
Yeah.
In terms of the letters,
Yes,
the pen pals.
right.
I now know her birthday is in April. You know, you have to send a card.
Yes.
She knows my birthday is in August.
Yeah.
Then I receive a card, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes my dad is coming to check on me. And he comes with letters.
Yeah.
Or comes with a card.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I respond and back and forth.
Yeah.
And so it's developed more on the letters side.
Yeah.
So by the time she's coming in April, there's that.
You're excited.
Yes.
You're looking forward.
Yes.
You want to see her.
Yeah.
And you're feeling the same.
Yes.
Yeah. But now from there, Mom,
Yeah.
from there is like I started to be a bit scarce from the shop because I'm preparing to go to campus.
Right.
I've got to go for the letter to the chief.
Yeah.
I've got to go for medical. I've got to go for this and the other.
Yeah.
You know, just getting ready. So I would go, but not as much. But, you know, the letters kept going to and fro, to and fro.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so even after I joined the university, now I became a boarder at the university. Meaning I'm sleeping at the university, she's still in boarding. So during that time at the university is when she decides to to walk out of that school. Yeah,
And
I
go
don't
look
know.
for her school.
And go look for her own school. I
For
don't
the
know whether
shanda.
it's because she wanted to see me
Yeah,
more often or what.
I think so. Alikuwa na mpango.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So actually, our relationship got because there was in '92. I went to campus in '90, September '90.
Yeah.
Then I did first semester. Then quickly, I just took a few weeks break. Then went to second semester, and then the following the second semester in '91.
Yeah.
Then the same year, 91, in September, I started second year.
Oh.
Yes, and finished second year. We were about to finish second year in July
Yeah, of 92?
of '92.
Yeah.
That is when the Sabasaba riot started. I remember we were just like 2 weeks before
Before you finish.
before the exams.
Yeah.
So we stayed out for a year. So, stayed out for a year.
Yeah.
She's just, I think, finished.
Yeah.
You
had just finished.
Yeah, so she's doing her computer. She did a bit of computer, and then she also did a bit of French.
You
At
even did
Alliance
French.
Française.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a bit of French.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Comment ça va?
Comment allez-vous? I know something.
When you don't practice, you forget.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now you did. So when do you now get to marry? Before I get to the marriage, what's your relationship with your dad?
My relationship with your dad, with my dad.
Yeah.
You see now, he's in '89. He's influenced me in terms of to go back to Catholic and blah, blah, blah. But God starts to deal with my heart. Something happened. One of my best friend, I have a clique, friends. My brother has his own friend. One of my best friends actually commits suicide. 2 of them attempt. And I am at the center of it in terms of I'm the one who is being called. I'm the one going to write statements.
Of what you know.
Yeah. You get? So that my friend had a relationship with a girl, and I have a relationship that, is developing.
Yeah.
So the guy just gets frustrated one day.
And takes his life.
And takes his life. Those days I was doing accounting.
Yeah.
There was a college around St. Francis,
Yeah.
where in Orero University used to be. There was a college there. So I used to do evening classes. So we meet, he comes to my cube because I had a cube. So it was like a center of operation. When guys just wanted to chill, they would come chill.
Yeah.
And we played a lot of reggae music in the cube, and
Yeah.
So he comes over lunchtime and he tells me, Yoniaje, we talk, and then he's jovial, and then he goes. When I'm coming, I used to come back around 8 in the evening. I'm seeing the girlfriend waiting for me. And he's like, Maurice, come. I said, okay, let me put my books. She came, grabbed my books and threw them and said, Wachana nazo.
Hey.
Come. I said, what's up? And mentions the name of the friend and told me that your friend has committed suicide. I'm like, what?
And that's all the time we had for you today. We meet here again, same time next week. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe.
My mom would come and tell me, omba pole pole.
Yeah. Because utaenda kabisa uende.
3 in the morning, I'm awake and I'm like, wow. It wasn't a nice one. The one that people call Gucci prayers. No. You remember those days when people went to Karura and whatever to pray?
Yeah.
They would pray, you would hear people from across the valley.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like that.
It was like that. It continued. Even when I moved from Gara, I would just get to start praying and it's like a gushing forth. Yeah. People would say, you know, unajua mahali pa watu wanaomba.